It was all over the French news. Last Friday in Paris, two thugs, ages 16 and 17, tried to steal a cell phone from a 14-year-old. The youngster resisted, so they stabbed him to death. The head of the Paris police complained about an increase in scale, a rise in violence among the youth. Interior Minister Bruno Retailleau declared himself horrified by a loss of bearings and the collapse of authority. These guys are deep thinkers. The big French state TV program, C'est dans l'air, spent an hour on the case. I learned that children under 18 commit 30% of the violent robberies and 40% of the burglaries. This lady jabbered about how France has failed its youth. So that's the problem. Another report, this time on BFM TV, more statistics on youth crime. Young French people are really turning out awful. There was a fancy roundtable on the big broadcaster TF1. 179,000 minors arrested in 2023, up 6% over the year before. And we got just a hint of what I really wanted to know. A short spot with a black man who spoke bad French. He is the lawyer for one of the killers. But come on, tell us the race of the perps. I found this promising article from yesterday. What's the profile of the suspects? Well, one was born in August 2008, the other in May 2007. The younger had a record of violent gang robbery, and the elder specialized in theft, violent extortion, and carries a knife. They had been ordered not to be in contact with each other. Good luck with that. They lived in the same housing project. But they could have been lineal descendants of Lafayette, for all the newspaper knew or cared. The latest update from Le Monde, the French paper of record, didn't tell us either. But this is the era of citizen journalism. It was on X that I finally found a picture of the murdered boy, white and Jewish, and confirmation that the killers are black. Of course, every Frenchman with half a brain knows that white people don't carve you up for a cell phone, and that nearly every underage thief and drug runner and robber and hitman has immigration origins, as the French delicately put it. But mostly, they carve each other up. The talking heads were comical in their silence about the victim, but he was why this murder was a sensation. France would look the other way if Abdul had bled to death. It's different if it happens to a nice Jewish boy in a safe neighborhood. Of course, the US media are almost as bad about making sure we don't hear about rampaging BIPOCs, what I call the bipocalypse. But that's changing. It's just too easy for citizen journalists and cameramen to show them up for the hypocrites and spin artists that they are. Things are changing in France, too. Here's a French X account called French Lives Matter that promotes the term francocide. That's when non-whites, or paper Frenchmen as they're called, kill real French people like the ones in these pictures. When Rachida Dati, a former justice minister, moaned on X that this was also tragic and intolerable, she got an earful. Lots of replies along the lines of, "Who are the killers? Dare to describe them. What about immigration that is submerging France? Start with expulsion of foreign minors. Save your tears. All you politicians will be swept away, either by a fatal Islamist tidal wave or a brutal conservative revolution." We're waiting for a Donald Trump. Long live Donald Trump and Elon Musk. Keep taking orders from Soros, and things won't end well. Even Prime Minister François Bayrou got a slap in the face when he wrote on X, "It is excruciating to write about the killing." A commenter hit back with, "Close the borders, stop immigration, expel illegals." Another wrote, "Aren't you ashamed of your inactivity when you see what Trump managed to do in 1 week?" There may be nothing our rulers hate more than looking ridiculous. X is merciless. And big media look like dishonest fools when they hide the facts people care about most. There's a new wind blowing. All eyes are on Donald Trump, and nationalists everywhere like what they see.